Hello again team, it's Jess or JashiiCorrin and welcome back for another video. Today we are setting up a new bullet journal for the new year, but this one isn't from me. As the title suggests, this one is a giveaway journal that I'm setting up in this A5 Archer & Olive notebook. This is the Crescent Moon design, which is actually being retired once it sells out, but we're setting this journal up for January to June of next year. If you wanted to enter to be in to win this one, make sure to stay tuned, but for now we're setting up the first page. In preparing for the setup of this journal, I was asking a bunch of questions over in the JashiiCorrin community Facebook group around pages that I could include in the start of the journal, themes for the monthly layouts, what pages to include in the monthly layouts, etc. I very much want to make it so that whoever gets this journal can still make it their own and essentially just has some good layouts to get themselves started. This first page we're setting up is a year at a glance, so it has a mini calendar for each of the months of next year. I personally find this to be a really handy reference at the start of the journal, just so that you can quickly see what day of the week each day of the year falls on, or for when you're setting up your monthly spreads, knowing what day to start your calendar on. Each of these calendars is a Monday start, and at the end of each week I also include the week number in a light grey. Prior to penning this one in, I made sure to go in with pencil first and write down when each of the months started, just to avoid any possible errors of miscounting and then throwing the entire calendar off. I've seen this happen to other people before, and I didn't want it to happen in this giveaway journal. Penciling in first is my safe place. As you can probably tell from the decoration we have on this first page, for this start of journal setup I've gone with an astrology theme. So lots of little stars, constellations, that type of thing. And I've carried that theme through all of the pages we're setting up today, just to make them all tie together nicely. To keep it fairly minimal, we're just working essentially with some black pens, a grey Tombow dual brush marker, and for the starter journal setup I also added some gold touches using my Coliro Finetech gold watercolours and also the metallic gold acrylograph paint pen. As always, any of the equipment I use in this setup can be found in the description box below though. Like we talked about for our last giveaway journal, I want our giveaway winner to be able to pick their own colour palettes for each month, if they choose to have one. For that reason, all of the pages I set up here are going to be quite minimal in terms of equipment used. For the most part, it is just a black pen. This not only allows them to make it their own, but it also means that they'll actually have the right gear to keep their themes cohesive if they want to. In terms of timing though, our year at a glance page took approximately 30 minutes from first touch of the pen to final erasings, but as always this doesn't include penciling in time or idea generation time. Flipping over though, and we are on to the future log, where we're splitting the spread into 12 boxes, one for each month, so 2 rows of 6 boxes. Each of these are 8 squares across and 16 squares down. This of course is just one style of future log that you can use, and if you are looking for more inspiration when setting yours up, I do have a separate video on future log styles that might be helpful. To add a decorative element to these ones, and in keeping with our astrology theme, I made a printable of the constellations for each of the star signs. This one is available over on my Patreon, which is also linked in the description box. Cutting these out, we have one little circle for each of the months, with the star sign for that month. Now, I know that each of the star signs don't actually perfectly fit into a calendar month, so I've just associated each month with the star sign that the majority of the days for the month is related to. Does that make sense? For example, Libra is roughly September the 23rd to October 23rd, so as there are more days in that period that are October, I've put the Libra star sign in the box for October. Yeah. To bring some more gold into this setup though, after all the little cutouts were stuck in, I just put some more of that gold paint over where the stars would be for each of them. And then I also used gold to denote the month's initials, but this one was an acrylograph pen. You'll see that I didn't bother to put mini calendars here with the future log boxes, just as with the year at a glance, having the mini calendars here too would seem a bit redundant. In terms of timing though, our future log took 20 minutes from first touch of the pen. Over the page and we're onto the space for goals. So this one includes a general goals page on the left, so a space for our giveaway winner to write out what they want to achieve in the year to come. And on the right we have a 22 in 2022 list, but more on that in a bit. Because I know that people like to set goals differently, and the things that our giveaway winner wants to record are likely going to be different to me, I've left this page fairly open, with just a header and a decorative banner at the bottom. So bringing in more of those constellation cloud decorations. This one took 8 minutes to set up, the time for which was certainly increased by using the paint. Examples for how this page could be used though are something like a goals brainstorm to identify their goals, or a list of their goals for the year ahead. They might want to use it to make an action plan for a particular goal, or to record milestones they achieve when working on their goal. Obviously, there's a lot of flexibility with a page like this, given that we just effectively have a nice empty space here, but I didn't want to essentially prescribe to the winner how their goal page should be. On the other side of this spread though, we have the 22 in 2022 list. So this one has a space to record 22 things that our giveaway winner wants to achieve in the year ahead. I've previously really enjoyed using pages like this, and in fact I enjoyed it so much that this year I decided to expand mine to be 101 things. They don't have to be big things, though some of them might be, but I find that lists like this are a great way to commemorate the stuff that you accomplished in any given year. Now that we've set up a few spreads though, and you can see how this giveaway journal is coming together, how do you actually enter to win the journal? In the description box and in the pinned comment below, you'll find a link to the giveaway page where you can sign up. At that link there is a bunch of ways that you can earn yourself extra entries, like by subscribing to my vlog channel or hitting up the JashiiCorrin Facebook group. But to win, you do have to be a subscriber here though, so make sure to hit the subscribe button on the way to the giveaway link. The giveaway is open internationally though, and will close on December 3rd, 2021, 11 PM New Zealand time, and the winner will be announced that weekend in my regular Sunday video. Our 22 in 22 page took 7.5 minutes though, with 2 columns, each with space for 11 things. And now we're flipping over to our media page. By this I mean things like books to read or read, movies or TV shows to watch or already watched, podcasts to listen to or already listened to, that kind of thing. This is another one that I've tried to set up in a way that makes it flexible. So we have 4 spaces per page for a total of 8 spaces, and I haven't put any labels into the boxes. This mainly comes from how I know I would use this page, because I'm much more of a watcher or a listener than I am a reader. So if I were to use this spread, I likely wouldn't have to have a full space dedicated to books, and probably multiple spaces dedicated to movies. I figured that our giveaway winner may well be the same, so I didn't want to designate each space to a specific thing. Given we're leaving the headers out as well, this also means that our winner can use this as a things to check out page, or as checklists, or as a space to write down some memories for the 6 months that this journal spans. They don't actually have to use it as a media spread at all, but that's just what my intention was for it. In terms of the decoration on this one though, you can see we have 2 circular components, one in the middle of each page, and in these I put some doodles that fit with our astrology theme. So I have a little telescope in the one on the left, and the Big Dipper and some other constellations in the one on the right. From first touch of the pen to final erasings, our media spread took about 5 minutes, and then we're actually going to flip back to the start of the journal to put in a grid spacing guide. In our last giveaway journal, I had the grid spacing guide on a spread inside the journal, which didn't make it as easy to reference as it could be. For this one though, I wanted to resolve that issue by making a flip-out grid spacing guide on the inside cover of the journal. I've talked about this previously in our video on different styles for grid spacing guides, so if you hadn't already seen that video, do make sure to check it out. But what this one involves is taking a piece of paper, either cut out from the back of your journal or from making a Dutch door, or you can use the paper from the Archer and Olive A5 notepad, and washi taping it into the inside cover of the notebook, such that it can flip out to be used. I'm making 2 small grid spacing guides, so one for the vertical edge along the side, and one for the horizontal edge at the top. On each of these pieces of paper, I'm just marking in the spacing that would be needed to divide a journal page into halves, thirds, and quarters. There is a little bit of extra space on these, so our giveaway winner could also mark in any other grid spacings that they use regularly. Both of these spacing guides will be washi taped into the front cover so that they can be flipped out and seen from any page in the journal. Because of where they have to be stuck to be useful, I did have to cut away some of the top or the horizontal grid spacing guide just so that they could both fold back into the journal. The grid spacing guide is something that I know a lot of people find really helpful to have in their journal, but it's actually not something that I put in my one. Probably in part because I've been journaling for a while now, and essentially only use Artronolib notebooks, so I've gotten to know the spacings quite well. But question of the day for you though, what are your must-have layouts when setting up a new journal? I'm really excited to show you my new bullet journal setup for next year, but first I actually need to finalize what pages I'm going to include. I'd love to hear about what your must-haves are so that I can get inspiration for my journal, and make sure to read what other people leave in the comments too, so you can find inspiration as well. For our final flip through though, we have the flip out grid spacing guides, the year at a glance featuring the week numbers for the year, the future log with constellation decorations, our goals spread with a space to record goals and the 22 things to do in 2022 page, and then the media spread to record things like books to read and movies to watch. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video and have entered the giveaway. As always team, thank you for watching. If you found today's video interesting or enjoyable, please do make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more on planning, productivity, and personal development. Until next time, bye!